What's up YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we will be doing at least a $1,000 half dollar hunt. You can see in front of you I've got box 1 of 2 of some Brinks wrapped rolls from my local Fifth Third. I'm hoping to find some silver, but we'll be looking for all kinds of goodies like errors and varieties, namely DDOs and no FGs, and I'm just anxious and eager to get into these rolls, so let's get these pushed back and jump into it. Okay, well, while we're getting into roll number 1, which I'll open a handful of rolls here with you guys on camera, like I said in the opener, we are mainly looking for silver, and we do that initially by just edge hunting. So when we open up a roll, we look down these edges looking for something that's going to be really silvery and gray. And now would probably be a good time to stop you to say, while I was on traveling up in Virginia at the end of January, I did end up getting 3 40% silvers out of teller trays at a couple of banks that I stopped by. And I'll use those to give you a quick view of what silver looks like in the middle of a roll of clad. So I'm going to dump those in there. And when we close that up, you can see very clearly, hopefully you can see very clearly on camera, 1 silver edge, 2 silver edges, and 3 silver edges. So that silver is going to pop right out at you. It's easy to see. It's easy to find. Unfortunately, it's not easy to find rolls that have silver in them, and that's why we hunt them. Outside of that, we will be looking at each and every coin for errors and varieties, like I said, like no FGs. That's where the little designer initials, FG, are missing in the crook of the leg of the eagle back there. That's on your 72D and I think on your 82 and 83P. We'll also be looking for DDOs, which stand for double die obverse, and that's on our 71D, our 74D, and our 1977D. And our 73D, I forgot. Some of them, actually your DDOs are pretty tough to see with the naked eye, so I usually put them aside and check them under the scope every now and again. So with that said, if you didn't follow all that, I do have a document in the description of all my coin roll hunt videos that you are welcome to go in and download and use for your own hunts. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead, go off camera, keep hunting rolls, and bring you guys in as soon as we find something. Okay, well, we are on roll number 9, and I've already got the paper pulled back, and I wanted to stop because this guy just looked really suspicious. It's probably like a 71 or a 74. We call those fakers a lot of times because they'll have a really gray looking edge. And then when you get them out of the paper, you're disappointed to see they're just a regular clad. And let's see, it's a 74. It's just really weird. It always ends up being one of those 2 dates that ends up reading really silvery. The ping test, it's definitely just clad. Let's check for that DDO. I don't see it there. So anyway, sorry for the false alarm, but that edge just looked really silvery to me. So that wraps up the box. Sorry I really didn't bring you in again because all we found along the way was a couple of NIFCs and they weren't in that great a shape. We had a 2004, that looks like a Denver. We had a 2011 Denver and a, I dropped it, a 2018 Denver. The 2018 actually looked pretty good. And for a nice change, we only had 1 2022 Philly. We didn't have a bunch of 2021s like we normally have, just one of the new well, I think the Mint's still probably trying to call these NIFCs, but no one else is because they've released so many full boxes into the wild. But so we don't really count those. But that wraps up box number 1. Sorry it didn't produce more, but we're going to jump into box number 2, and hopefully we do a little bit better. Here we are with box number 2. I've already opened it up and done the coin flip on the top rack just to see if we had any silver enders, which we did not. So like the first box, we're going to go ahead and get this pushed out. And I'll just open up like the first 5 rolls and just see how we do on camera. We'll just edge hunt here together and maybe get lucky. I know I didn't bring you guys in much for that first box. So let's have a look at least some coins together during this video, or during this box, just in case it doesn't produce much like the last one. All right, so we are going to have some probably 2021s or 2022s here at a minimum. There's a 2022 Philly right there. Not an NIFC. I'll pull it since it's the first coin that looked really nice. That's just a nice 1995. That's a nice 1995, and that's just an ugly 1993. So 2022, at least it's a new coin. Not technically an NIFC. Couple of shiny guys in there. There's a true NIFC right there on the end. 2002 Denver. First year of the NIFCs. Let's see here. What else do we have? A couple other shiny rims in here. We'll take a quick look. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. There were actually two back to back there. 81 and 85. So let's do two more and then I'll go off camera. And hopefully we find a little bit of silver in this box. No, just more clad. All right, well, I'm going to go through these coins for errors and varieties, and if I happen to get lucky and find some silver on the next, 5, 10, 15 rolls, I'll bring you guys in. So we have gotten into roll 30 here. Before we get down here to the roll, I did want to stop and show you guys. I've got a handful of NIFCs. We've got a 2002, 2003, 2004, all Denver, and a 2006 Philly. And I just pulled one. I've probably found 5 or 6 of these, but 2022 Phillies. I know I've had boxes where these were loaded full of them, but I did want to show you getting through roll number 30. I did come across a San Francisco clad commemorative. On the back here it says, "Liberty in God We Trust," with the Statue of Liberty. 1986, you can see that San Francisco mint mark right there. But the front shows us this is a nation of immigrants, United States of America. $50 commemorative, so pretty cool. I've found maybe 3 or 4 of these over the last year or two. This one's probably the worst from a condition perspective, but I hang on to all these because it's just cool to find in circulation. We're on roll 41, and I think we've come across what we hope every box of $50 has in it, and that is a little bit of silver. If you look right here, I just barely made it in the paper. That is what a silvery edge looks like. At least I hope so. Get those out of the way. Oh, I heard it. Definitely some silver. We got a 19... Sorry about that. I hit the stop button on my camera, but we have a 1969 Denver. Look at that. It's seen better days, but it's silver, 40%er on the hunt. I'll take it. So that is going to do it for this second box. Quick recap. We did have a couple of 2002 NIFCs. We had a 2003, 4, 6, and late in the box we did find a 2009. And I did also get one lonely 2021 Philly. Probably about 10 2022s along the way, but just that one 2021. The stars of the show, of course, are our silver. We always love finding silver in boxes. This is 1969. It's seen better days, but it's still a 40% silver $50. And I wish this had been made of silver, but it's not. This nation of immigrants clad commemorative $50. It is also a proof, so of course we always hang on to those. So with that said, I was actually able to get out to the bank today and I found one box of Loomis rolls. So we're gonna go ahead and tack that on here. I have terrible luck with Loomis, so it may be just a box opening and a wrap up of finding a lot of nothing, but who knows? Let's get that third box on the table and jump into it. So as promised, here's that Loomis box of $50. As you can see, I've already cracked it open. I did ask him at the bank. I haven't really seen this barcode on many boxes, and they said that this barcode means that it came from the Atlanta Federal Reserve, so I'll take their word on it. I did already crack it open and do the coin roll looking for silver enders or any kind of crazy 21 or 2022 dump, and didn't see that. It looks like we've got a decent box of circulated $50. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. And like a lot of my boxes, let's go ahead and open a couple here on camera together in case we find some silver early. So that might be a proof. I'm gonna guess that's a proof. And here in roll number 1, it's been a long time since I've seen a proof dump. That is absolutely gonna be a proof, and it actually is a pretty good looking one. 1998 San Francisco proof in roll number 1. That is pretty cool. Let's see, do we have any NIFCs in here? No, that's just an 86. So yeah, let's get a couple of rolls open here. Be cool if this was a proof dump. Here's roll number 2. This yellow paper is a lot tougher to rip than the black. Nothing there, so just some clad. Nope, just a really nice 1981. Okay, well, hopefully we find some more proofs along the way, or maybe even some silver. Hopefully I'll see you soon. So we get into roll 13. You can see I've got roll, 11 and 12 rolled out here. But I wanted to bring you guys in here because I think we might be on to another either commemorative or proof. Wanted to see getting that out of the wrapper. Oh yeah, we got another proof. Let's see here. We got a nice 1986 San Francisco. Looks really nice. Nice mirror finish. Not a bad proof for being in circulation. We'll put that up on the board. Two proofs on the box. So we are 4 rolls from the end, and I was literally just 3 coins in. I've already got the coin under the scope. You can see here it's a 1971D, and I believe we have found the FS 101. I've already got it under the scope here, and it is pretty subtle. You can see, if I can find my mouse here, we do have some doubling in the serif here in the U. You can see some very light splitting down here in the S. I'm sorry, in the R. You can see the double S curve here and a little bit up here, and you can see a little bit of the double T. Now I've checked the in God, I have checked the T and the Y. Those are also very common areas where you can find doubling. I didn't see it there. I'm going to rotate this in the light a little bit because it does make some of this pop. Like that's a little bit better to show off the serif and the U. So we definitely have some doubling here. This is not machine doubling, at least as far as I can tell. But this makes the R pop just a little tiny bit more. If I can get the right light just right, you can see that split in the leg of the R just a little bit better, maybe like right there. But it's a very, very minor DDO, but it's been a long time since I've found the FS 101. I usually find it over here on the I from the in God part of it, but this is definitely over here in the word trust. You can even see now that I have it in this light, you can see a little bit right in here, the ridge of the doubling of the R. So I did pull up Variety Vista, just so you guys could see that. Let me scroll down here. So you can see here we have the 71D DDO, the FS 101, and the main area that we see this in is the word trust. And you can see here, theirs is a little bit more pronounced, but you can see my S and T look very similar to that. And my U definitely looks like that. So I'm pretty sure that I have the FS 101. Let me know in the comments down below if you either agree or disagree with me. In general, let's take a look at the coin over here. It's not a bad looking coin, honestly. This could maybe get an AU. We've actually still got some luster on this thing. It actually is a pretty nice looking coin. Luckily, we don't have any kind of ring of death on it. So, you know, if you want to give me an idea what you think this would grade out at, that would be pretty cool. I'll look it up on PCGS. If it looks like it's a high dollar coin in AU state, I'll pop that up on the screen. But this is probably one of the nicer looking 71D DDOs I've ever found. Really quickly, I did pull up the 1971D FS 101. They do have a little close-up here that you can get in and look at. Let me zoom in here so you can see that. So you can kind of come in and see what their trust looks like, and you can see they've got that double serif on the U, that line in the S, and that little bit of line in the T like I do. Theirs also has some doubling in the T and the Y. Mine may have a little bit of doubling in the T. I definitely didn't see anything in the Y. Mine was not real strong on the T part. But let's back out here and just look down at the price. So that's a little too far out. But if I come down here and just, you know, let's assume I'm being generous and say we're in an AU. AU 58 is about as low as it goes. That's a $35 coin. So that's not too bad. So if I'm an AU 50, maybe it's a $30 coin or a $25 coin, but still, that's pretty cool for a quarter out of a $half dollar box. Like I said, we only have 3 rolls left, and we're about, we got about 17, 18 coins left in here. And we'll be heading to the wrap-up. But so far, this is a pretty cool coin to go with our 2 proofs. So that brings us to the end of that box. And honestly, it was a pretty good one. I know I didn't bring you in much, but we had a lot of NIFCs that I'm going to wrap up here. I didn't bring you in for any of them because I try not to focus on those too much anymore, because I spent like a year finding nothing but NIFCs. So I try not to include those in the video. We opened up strong with a proof in the very first roll. I think it was actually this 1998. And that is a good looking proof for being in circulation. I was hoping we were going to be a little bit on a proof dump when we found our second proof not far behind it, this 1986S. Missed that fancy 1987 by just a year. Love finding proofs. I always hang on to those. But I was really hoping we'd find a lot more, knowing how quickly we found those first 2. As we went through the box, we did have a lot of NIFCs. We had a 2002, 3 2004s, a 2005. I think we had a P&D on that one. 2006, a 2010, 11, and 16. And I did pull through this hunt. We did end up with I think it was a P&D. Now it was actually 2 Denver 2021s. And we ended up with a Philly 2022 and a Denver 2022. So I pulled one of each of those. Outside of that, I did find a pocket coin, a 1971. This is a really old coin. Back in the day, people would have one of these in their pocket and they would just rub it like this. Or they would rub the back, and they literally, with their finger, the acid from their finger would just wear all of the detail off of this coin. That's typically what causes them to look like this. Now, that doesn't mean somebody else didn't machine this, but just on the look, I would say this was a pocket coin. So you can see from the circle in the middle, this is from a finger, just going round and round the coin. So I thought that was kind of a neat find. No value there, but thought it was cool. It's been a long time since I have found a good proper error. Let me zoom in a little bit. But this 1971D actually ended up being a really nice coin, and I think a really good example of the FS101. Let me see if I can get that T in here just under the camera scope. Now, it's not going to be close enough to see, but there was a tiny little bit of doubling on this edge of the T. So I think it does fit with that 1971 FS1 or 1971D FS101. Judging from the camera or the microscope pictures, if you disagree, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Also, if you have an idea of a grade, let me know that. But that is the third box, and it was actually a ton of fun. I'm glad I added it to the end because we did have a nice variety of finds. I did go ahead and just keep these 2 from box number 2 set aside because, again, I found 3 or 4 of these, but I love this commemorative clad proof. I love finding those. I think those are really, really neat. I'll put the mintage of that up on the screen as well. And then any hunt, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes where you find a little bit of silver, it is a successful hunt. So this silver's seen a little bit better days, but it's still a nice piece of silver. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know I enjoy making these videos. You guys can show me you really enjoy them by dropping down below and clicking on that like button and leaving me a comment. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. While you're down there, I'd like to also point out I did recently enable memberships. You can click on the join button and read all about those. I think I've got 3 tiers starting as low as $1.99 a month, where it just kind of guarantees you a little bit more access to me. For my $4.99 members and up, I'll make sure to put your screen name on every single video to thank you for being a member. And I know that at the higher level, I'm going to start doing assuming I get enough people, I'd like to start doing a member stream like once a month or once every other month. Well, we'll, do some silver hunts, and, I'll guarantee some silver in every hunt. And it won't cost you guys a dime. So anyway, give those a look. Let me know what you think. Again, in the comments, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this, make sure you do drop down below and click on that subscribe button. Click on that little bell and select all so you get notified each and every time I do release a new video. Also, while you're there, leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite coin of this hunt was. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm hopefully back in the saddle, at least for the next couple of weeks, making coin roll hunts. So stay tuned. I hope you guys are doing well. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.